rodeo itself, when it's all going and everyone's doing different events all around you, it's this huge field with all these different pole structures set up, and there's all kinds of different events going on. You've got speed climbs going on, you've got hurt man rescue, you've got arm changes going on. There's linemen going up the pole, coming down the poles. It's really kind of exciting. It's really our job, what we do day to day to earn a living, right there on the field, all different aspects of it. And it's added to that. There's kids running around watching their fathers compete or their mothers compete. There's some women linemen competing there too. Wives are there rooting on their husbands. And it's just a whole, almost like a party atmosphere going on with these events. And it's very upbeat. It's exhilarating. It's exciting. It's exciting to see what you do for a living kind of right out there for the cameras and for everybody, back home to see.
The rodeo really kicks off on Friday night with the Lineman's Expo.
The expo is where all the vendors get together to show their tools and products.
I think the expo is fascinating. Had a lot of the tools of the trade. Just something to see. All the new ideas that are out there that you never really get to see in the field. A fascinating show.
Looking good, Dave.
Well, at the exposition, they have a table set up where you go in and sign up as a team. Your team has to be there together. They give you your information packet with the events that you're going to be doing, the mystery events, the 2 mystery events that you don't know. They give you your shirts and hats and stuff like that.
We have a little spot off the side with tables, and we all get together and open up the packets and see what the mystery events are, and we kind of brainstorm. Everybody gets together and picks it apart a little bit before we get there.
It's very simple. Once you see how to roll it, you got to roll it the right way. Yeah, and it's got to get right under the lip. The trick is getting it under the lip of the glass.
The insider?
Yeah.
If it doesn't go under that lip, you can rotate it all you want.
Slide it.
It comes underneath, and then when you go to rotate it around, make sure both tails are underneath the conductor.
Okay.
They got to spin both underneath the conductor, then you can wrap it.
You go clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't matter.
And then we start immediately kind of talking over how we're going to go about it. Who would be best on this side of the pole, as if they have to reach up high, the taller guy, the shorter guy for this.
Put a piece of rubber on that face. I put my split blanket right there on the arm, up over the pin it.
You're doing things three-dimensionally in your head when you're thinking about how you're going to perform this task. I was trying to help the guys do in the air as much as we can to try to get directions when you wrap things on and stuff. In that event, everything's timed. You want to make sure you get it right the first time.
Okay, and then this guy's going to have to lower it down.
Yes. Or this guy keeps pushing, and it'll continue to go.
Yeah, we definitely work with the other guys. I mean, we're all, from the same company, and we all work together. Even the other linemen from the other companies, they'll come over and give suggestions, and anything we can do to help them out, we'll help them out too. It's competition, but at the same time, we're all linemen. We all work together.
No one was really set on what hot sticks to use and how to go about setting up the job. And the boys from New England and New York, all of us sat down and we all worked it out together. We had diagrams. We were drawing them on paper and questions, and it was just like a huge tailboard. Is what it was.
The one thing I found out about the competition, it wasn't New York against Mass. It was, we're all linemen. We all wanted to do it together. We didn't pit this 3-man team against this 3-man team. All 12 guys sat down and talked about it together. It's not one-on-one. It's a team event.
They use a different type tie than we do. We just use regular tie wire here, and there they had a pre-made preform that a lot of the teams have never seen before, including us. And the dealer was there, and everybody was just kind of gathered around there learning how to put this new preform on.
He gets right to there, right? That guy grabs the shot clock. Well, Jeff and I were just looking at, there's a preform for hot sticking on the insulator. There's a right way and a wrong way to put it on. If you start that the wrong way while you're hot sticking, you're going to get in trouble with the cross arm, won't be able to complete the task. So what we're discussing is, we think the trick is, when you climb the pole, keep that phase you're going to work on to your right. Put it on with a stick, and I think you'll be able to turn that the way you're supposed to, and the two guys can work together to finish it up.
Well, I think it's going to be difficult. This isn't something we use in our everyday work. The preform is new to us. Hot sticking isn't something we do very much of either, but I guess the key, like Randy said, is to get it on right to start with. If you get it on right to start with, then it should go on nice. Sal pulls that stick back in, brings it up.
After leaving the expo, many teams will visit the rodeo grounds to get a better sense for the next day's events.
Friday evening, you get to see what the grounds look like and prepare for Saturday. Well, it gives you an idea of what's on the pole to prepare for your event.
Construction isn't what we would see in our standards book. Just from the point where the neutral was located on the pole. It was jacked up there pretty good. It was only like about 3 feet from the gain. So now you're where you want your feet to be, they're not going to be. And that made it, a little tougher, especially on myself. I'm a little shorter than most guys, but we found an obstacle, we got over it and got through it.
And there was actually some teams there that had big trailers all set up and actually built their own line out of pieces of pole and cross arms and stuff so they could practice it all day that day ahead before the rodeo, which is definitely a big benefit because they had done the job many times before we've ever even touched it. So there's some people that are pretty serious about it there.
The t-shirt swap and a pig roast are fun because everybody's relaxed. They're trying to relax before the event the next day. And you get to talk to people about what they do and how they do stuff. And you find out that most of the guys, most of the shops are the same as ours.
I don't think I ever saw as much barbecue as we did there. It was a great event. There's a lot of camaraderie there with the t-shirt swaps and everything else. It was a great time. That was really good. The bargaining part of the t-shirt thing is the best, definitely. You get to meet a lot of people and there's a lot of great times there.
The t-shirts from people bring here, some of them are incredible. You look at them and you say, I gotta have that one, I gotta have that one. I mean, I look at the ones I want, and if it costs me $3 to get one, I'm going for it because I want that t-shirt.
Dude, if that ain't me on that freaking shirt, I don't know who it is. Huh? That's me. That's you. Huh?
It's all linemen and their families, and it's tremendous. Everybody trading shirts, and it's a great activity. Great fireworks.
When we first got up that morning, I was nervous, and you go downstairs and you see everybody else, and there's a little bit more tension than there was the night before at the swap.
You always got the jitters. I think that everybody has the same feelings. You wonder, you've been training and whatnot, and you're wondering if it's going to pay off.
And you want to make sure you remember all the stuff you're supposed to get, have your wristbands on, and make sure your tools are what they should be.
But at the same time, it's kind of exhilarating because you have been preparing, and finally going to get to go out and do it.
Well, it's like before a big game. I mean, you're ready to, you're thinking about it. You get a few butterflies. You want to go down there. What puts me at ease is I know I can do the job.
And you know that in a couple hours you're going to just have to do what you set out to do, and hopefully you'll remember everything you practiced.
Getting to that age, I got to stretch every morning.
I try and stretch every day. You know, I'm not getting any younger. This particular morning, I wanted to do my stretching in the lobby. Just as we were sitting around, I want to get stiffened up and be ready to go for when I get to the events. Yeah, the opening ceremony, that's one of the best parts of the thing.
Well, it was kind of a special ceremony, being it was an anniversary date of 9/11. They had the military there, the national anthem from several different countries being played where the flags were being raised up.
At the twilight's last gleaming,
this year there was high stress about the military because we are over in Iraq. And it's funny, my son has been over in Iraq in the Marine Corps this year, so it kind of had a special meaning to me.
And then once it was over, it was go time.
The rodeo fairgrounds, in the height of all the activity, standing back when you have the opportunity to see it all, makes your job worthwhile. It makes you proud of what you do. And it's not often you get that opportunity to see such a massive display of hundreds of poles, hundreds of linemen, all doing what you do on a day-to-day basis, and all doing it to the background of music and noise and chairs, and it is truly the Super Bowl of line work.
In the other events, the hot stick and rubber glove event, there was quite a line. You were waiting. And while you waited, you might as well watch. You're going to see how other teams are doing the job.
We talked to a crew that already just had finished, and they give us some pretty good tips. Yep, working well together. Trying to get any hints you can from the people that are already in the air. And, you know, oh, that guy did that, or this guy did that.
And also when you're in line waiting, you talk to the team in front of you or behind you and ask them and how they felt or what they might do.
You get to study the event, learn from other people's mistakes, which we did. We could stand in the line and say, we got to make sure we don't do that.
Pretty darn good, I think, for not being hot stickers. We did good. We were under the mean time. We lost a couple points on little infractions, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with how we did.
The hurt man is one of the hardest things that you can do down there. And to get a good time on that, there's a lot involved in it. You start the hurt man with none of your gear on. The rubber gloves, you have to put it all on before you can start up the pole. And that's a pretty hard event.
For the hurt man, you know, putting your gear on can save you some valuable seconds. We practiced a lot on that this year, just trying to get the gear set up the best way. How can we lay out our gear? That changed a little bit when we got down to the event. Probably saved 3 or 4 seconds off our time by just practicing that alone.
This year's rodeo participant met a new challenge as National Grid encouraged the use of enhanced fall protection through the use of the buck squeeze. We were one of the few, if only, teams competing in this rodeo with fall protection, and all eyes were on us as the industry is moving towards fall protection. With the belt on, events didn't slow down, and that showed as a New York team came in second place in the speed climb with a 20-second climb up a 40-foot pole and back down.
Last year we were able to free climb up, and we came down with the belts on because it was quicker to do that, but this year we had to climb with the belts from the ground to ground. So again, it was, you know, something new for us. We practiced with them obviously with the new belts, but it was an adjustment.
My times in the speed climb and the hurt man both improved this year, which I thought was a big part of, big thing. I mean, we had the new belts, but I got used to the belts, and my times in both of them got better than the first year.
The speed climb it's kind of a strange thing with that egg. You got to worry about not breaking the egg, and that's totally different. So you've got to be the combination of speed and finesse, I guess you'd call it, because it's hard to keep the egg from breaking. And depending on what you're doing, I mean, you can let it all hang out and try to make the best speed you can, but if you come down, you're definitely going to be in the bottom part of the whole competition. Because you break the egg, you're done. I mean, it puts you right in the bottom half of even the scoring. So you've got to kind of decide whether you got anything to lose or to go for it or not. But it's one of my favorites, that and the hurt man. I like to go for it. But.
They placed in the speed event. That was great. They got second in that event, and it was just a great feeling to know that they could have, and then that night at the celebration that they did.
The category determined pole block. Second place from National Grid, Team 68, Spencer O'Brien, Paul Richardson, Dan Burke.
The rodeo's priority is safety. The safer you work, the better you'll score, the higher you'll place in the competition.
Safety, you know, you pick up a lot of safety stuff down there too, because they do stress safety in the job down there. Even though none of these stuff we're working on is actually energized, it's treated as energized. You know, we have to play it energized. They require rubber, you know, on everything, neutrals on the way up, not touching anything, brushing against stuff. It does make you think a little bit more about that part of the job.
Everybody works, extremely safe, and obviously they have strong programs where they come from. But like any good worker, good employee, one of the reasons why they're good is the fact that safety comes first. Safety is tantamount to anything that they do, and as a result, you can see that they're here as a result of it.
One thing that I definitely, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, have brought back from the rodeo is just efficiency. When I do things now, I've always kind of have a little rodeo going on in the back of my head, and whether it's tightening a button, a connector, or making up a hand line, or almost anything, I'm just thinking, what's the quickest, most efficient way to do this with as little as time as I can. It's almost like practicing for the rodeo year round by doing that.
The Lineman's Rodeo has been around, I think, for 22 years. This will be the 22nd year. I competed in the rodeo some 10 or 12 years ago before I was employed by this company. And over the past 2 years, I've either been a lead or a coach, and then last year was an actual participant. I truly believe in the rodeo and what it stands for and what it does.
Oh, it's awesome. If you like to do the work, you gotta go. You have to experience it. It's just incredible. To me, it's incredible. I mean, you go in there, you drive up, you see all the poles set, you see all the people getting ready to go. I mean, they make a big deal. It's like the Super Bowl to me. I mean, I get to go there and I get to do what I do and do it the best I can.
The competitiveness and the eagerness amongst linemen and people associated with the line department from any source, New England, New York, any geographic location, doesn't matter, that they get together, you get excited, you work hard, you get rewarded, you suffer some pain, you share it with your friends, your newfound friends, and then you look forward to next year's competition.
To me, it's nothing like it. Nothing like it. Everybody should try it once.
Between the trip over there, the food that you're served while you're over there, the accommodations that you receive, the excitement of the events themselves, and then the banquet that follows. I mean, it's just an overall fantastic experience.
And if I were to take anything out of the experience and share it with anybody else who was considering getting in the rodeo or looking at this, I'd say if you love line work, you will love the rodeo.
My name's Dave Bummer. I'm a first-class lineman.
Dan Burke. I work in Lowville, New York. I'm a hot stick lineman.
Jeff Cabana, first-class lineman.
I'm Randy Jones. I'm the T&D supervisor from Utica, New York.
My name is Kurt Little, and I'm a first-class lineman.
Robert Marianic, manager of safety and health.
Spencer O'Brien, I'm a hot stick lineman out of Lowville Barn.
And my name is Steve Pops. I'm a C lineman in Hinsdale. It's Camillus, New York.
Hi, my name is Paul Richardson. I'm a chief hot stick line mechanic in Augsburg.
Hi, I'm Joe Stapleton. I'm a chief hot stick out of the Hinsdale Barn in Camillus, New York.
Mike Tobin, crew leader, Northampton Overhead Lines Department, Mass Electric.